Hey, hi everybody. This is Ray Anthony, and I put together a little video demonstrating how to repair a Samsung dryer. This is a Samsung dryer when it stops heating. So when a Samsung dryer stops heating, this is how to repair a Samsung dryer. So if you have a Samsung dryer, you're interested in repairing it, hopefully this video will help you. I made the video yesterday. I'm redoing this part today, just to let you guys know that it did work. I replaced all the elements on the dryer and everything worked perfectly. Now it's heating up wonderfully and it's working perfectly. So if you follow the instructions on the video, you will see that you change all the parts, you make sure nothing touches the metal, and you put the wires back where they go, and you do everything the way the video says, what I state to you how to do it. You shouldn't have a problem. Good luck, and be careful, and please watch the video to the end and subscribe to my page. Thank you very much. Okay, so here's my Samsung dryer. It's a Samsung, okay? This is how it looks. I'm in a very tight spot right here in my laundry room, so I don't have a lot of room to work. But this is what I'm going to show you guys. What you first have to do is look at the number here, okay? Look at the serial number of the machine, the model number. I don't know if the focus is good, but anyway, look at the model number of the machine and order your parts at Amazon based on the model number. There's a chart that tells you if they work together. So look at the chart, and hopefully that'll help you out. Anyhow, what I'm going to do now is let's assume I ordered all the parts, everything is here. I'm going to show you guys what you got to do first, second, and third. Okay. So first thing you're going to do is go to your breaker box. This is your breaker box, right? So you go to your breaker box. It's not too difficult, right? And you look for the breaker for the washer, okay? So once you find, the dryer. So once you find the dryer breaker, this is the dryer right here. You can see dryer, okay? There's a dryer breaker right here. You knock it off, shut it down, okay? Because you don't want power going to that machine. So now when you look at the machine and you try to turn it on, there's no power. But me, as an alternative, what I also do is I like to unplug it, okay? So the other thing I'm going to do is unplug it. If you could do that also, unplug it and make sure that there's no power. That'll be better for you. You don't need to unplug if you shut the breaker. But because I'm going into this thing, into the machine, I have a real mess here. I'm sorry about this. But when I go into the machine, I'm going to make sure that there is no power at all. I'm dealing with electrical here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it forward a little bit, the dryer. Here. And I'm going to just unplug it from here, okay? So it's unplugged from here, so it's unplugged. There it goes, okay? So you just unplug it, you shut the breaker, and then you can work on it, okay? So I'll show you what to do. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just really hot here in Florida. I'm sweating to death out here, and this room has no ventilation, so it's really rough. That's the dryer behind me, so as you see, what I told you was knock the breakers out, unplug it from the wall, make sure there's no power going to it. That's the safest way you can do this, okay? And then after that, you just take the whole thing apart. So this is what we're going to do, we'll take it apart. Okay, like I told you, my dryer is in a very tight spot, so it's very uncomfortable, so I'm not going to turn it around. What I'm going to show you is, what you need to do is remove the top panel here. And the way you remove the top panel is there's two screws in the rear, on the back. Okay, so when you get to the back, there's screws that are holding it in place. I can't show you that right now, because I'm not going to turn it around to do this video. You just unscrew those screws, and as soon as you unscrew it, it moves. So you just moves forward like that, and you can take it off, okay? So when you pull the top panel forward, okay, you're going to be exposed to some screws up here on top. Okay, that's the screws on top. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove those screws from the top. That's going to remove this top unit here, okay? When I remove those screws, this top unit is going to come out. It's going to be a wire. We're going to disconnect the wire. We're going to pull this out. All right, so I'll give you an example. On the top screws, they're in these, it has these white plates here, these plates right here, okay? So there's screws there, and you just, remove these 4 screws. There's 4 of them, and you just remove the screws. That's all you do. And when you remove the screws, the whole top plate will come off. So this is my last screw here. Make sure you keep the screws together. Don't mix them up. And then this piece just pulls forward. You see it's moving forward now. It's moving forward. Okay, so move forward. So what you're going to do, you're going to open the door of the dryer. The whole piece just comes forward. See, look, it just snapped forward. Okay, it has clips. You just snap forward, and then in here, okay? There's a little clip to disconnect it, but you don't have to disconnect it. What you need to do is just put it away, put it to the side, so it doesn't bother. Just put it up to the side, on top here. Just gonna put it on the top, up here, so it won't bother, and just put it over to the side, like this, on top, you see? Just put it up there on top, so get out of the way. You have nothing there except, but you don't have to remove that, okay? The next thing is we're gonna remove these 4 screws here. So you have 1, 2, and 3, 4 on this side. And then you have 2 screws in the bottom here, just 2 screws in the bottom of the door. And those screws come off. And this whole front panel, front door will come off. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. Okay, so once you remove the 4 screws and the 2 down here, it's gonna fall forward. You see this? The whole door will fall forward. And up here is a wire. What you want to do is pull that wire out. It has no clip. Just gotta pull the wire out. Pull away, see? Pull the wire out and just leave it there. Okay? And then this whole front door just come off, you see? Just remove the whole front door off of the dryer. So now the whole front door is off. And this is where we're gonna go to. See that little top area there? That screw? And that wire, that's the next thing we're going to do. Okay, just pull that wire off, unscrew that, and take that top piece out, and that's where the heating element is. Okay, so you put the door to the side, put it to the side, and you have this clip right here, this clip. So you want to take this off, okay? Just remove this clip. Then we're going to remove these 2 bottom screws and just 1 screw. That's going to take off this bottom plate. When this bottom plate is removed, okay, then we can remove the top piece. That's first, okay? So we'll do that now. Okay, so here's the wire clip. I just disconnected it. The top piece, I just put it out of the way. And the bottom piece is just here. So you just take that out of the way. For now, move out of the way. And then we move these screws here. Okay, there's 4 screws. Okay, see, I removed the 3 screws from that spot there. 3 screws, took 1 off. And now, we're going to put the screws aside. Okay, so I'm putting them aside. Okay, we'll come back here, right? What you're going to do now is you're going to lift this top piece up. And take this top piece out, the bottom piece. You're going to remove this bottom piece. It lifts up from the bottom, and then it kind of goes in an angle in the back. So it's kind of tricky. But you can get it out. It just goes like the lip in the back goes in the angle, and the front just goes right down. So you have to pull this out first. I'm going to use both hands. I'm going to shut it down, and I'll show you when it's off. It just takes a little finessing, but here you go. See? It's off. And that piece is hanging. So you're going to have to push this up a little bit. Just lift it up, and then take the bottom piece off, okay? Don't worry about it. Like I said, you shut off the power. There's no electrical, so nothing's going to hurt you here. Just going to take it all out nice and clean and put it to the side with the door. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this piece here. We're going to take this piece out. This is the piece that houses the element. So this piece here, you got to finesse it out of here. It's not that difficult. Once you get the angle, it's just going to come right out. Okay? It comes right out. It's a very important key part here. Okay. Once you get it through here, so you just nudge it a little bit. Once you get it out, here it goes. The piece is here, right? So the whole piece is out, okay? It's out. See, nothing in there. It's out here. So see these wires here? These wires are all different in probably different machines, all right? So you have 2 elements here and the 3rd element. So you want to do is take a picture of this to make sure you put the wires back in the same position. Take a picture with your camera. And then when you have to go back to it, you hold it in the same position and put the wires back where they go. That's what you need to do, okay? Okay, so there go the wires. I took it out, and here's what the piece is. Okay, so this is without the wires. I'm going to remove it. And then you have this is where the heating element is inside here. I'm going to remove that heating element. Okay, now I'll talk to you a little bit about this moving forward, okay? But there's a trick to this. So we'll take this in the house now and work on it so it won't be so hot out here. Okay, now here we are outside on the table, and we're gonna put this all together. Now I'm gonna show you something, okay? This is the old one that I took out. See how burnt it is? It's all burnt out. All right, the reason is I'm showing you this because I had already replaced it. But what I didn't do is I changed my heating element, but I didn't change these resistors here. Get damaged, they blow out, and it's not working because these resistors, I didn't order them the first time. So now I ordered a new kit with the resistors, and I'm going to change these resistors out, okay? But when you change this piece here, the inside piece, which we're going to open it in a minute, you got to make sure that the wires don't hit the metal casing. If they touch the metal casing, it will short out. So you be careful with that, okay? That's what you're gonna do. And before we go ahead and open it, see this clip here, this area here? This is where the metal casing, this piece here, if you're gonna change the whole thing, there's some clips on here, and you gotta pull those clips up to pull these wires out. These are the wires that are attached to the metal casing. See, those are the wires that are attached to the metal casing. So you gotta pull those wires out, okay? But I'm not gonna do that now because I've already done that. So we'll do it the next, you know, you don't need to do that, but I don't need to do that, but you have to do it. Okay, so all I had to do was change these two pieces, okay? So the unit comes with a bunch of them. These are the two I replaced. They look good, but you know, inside they're fusible links. So when the thing burns out, these things go bad. It comes with a few variety. I'm not using these because I don't need them, but it comes with enough to work on any Samsung machine, okay? So when you replace these, you just have to basically keep them in the same position, take off the screws, and replace them. That's all you have to do. And then you put the wires back where it's supposed to go. You don't have to open up the casing if you're not changing the inside heating element. Like I said, I already did that. I'm not going to do it again. But if you need to change the inside element, just pull those two clips back, push them in, like little metal clips, you'll see them. Just fold them down, push those clips in, open it with these screws here, these 6 screws, and just lock it back together. That's all you have to do. It's not that difficult, okay? When you do it, there's only one thing you need to know. On this side, on top of the clips, right here, see this right here on top of the clips? These are little metal flaps. You got to kind of fold these up to remove it. So you got to fold these up to remove it first before you take off this casing. But once you only when you need to replace the coil. But if you get the whole kit, you have to replace the coil and the two little sensors, and that will solve the problem. But like I said, I'm not doing this because I've already done it, and it's a pain in the butt. So I hope this helps you, but I'm not going to do it for you. You guys are going to have to do it on your own, okay? There you go. Now, once it's all done, all you do now is just pop it back in. You pop it back in the same way you took it off, put your screws back where they go, put your wires back where they go, and put it all back together. That's all you need to do. And you test it. Okay, so I changed the 2 elements like I told you, and I'm just going to pop it back in. So now when you put it back in, everything is reverse. So you put this back in first, then you put the bracket, the bottom bracket, and everything else up. I'm going to put the wires back on here. Maybe you have a picture for the wires. You got to photograph it. And then you put the wires back where they go. You snick it back in. You put the metal bottom place in. And then you just do everything reverse. So I'm going to do this now. Alright, so I wanted to show you. Here I go. I snap my wires back in. Put them back where they go according to my picture. Yours could be different wiring, different colors. But you just make sure you put them all back where they go. And that's all you need to do. And then we put it inside. Okay, so as you can see, I got the heating element back in there. It's in there, you see? And it just goes, there's a hole in the other end. You have to pop it into that hole in the other end, and then you just put the bottom bracket in and drill it and put those screws back on. That's all you need to do. Okay, so once you have the bottom bracket on there and you just put your screws in, the next thing, remember, is to take your wire. Okay, your wire. Take the wire from the top. Don't forget to put your wire, and just snap them back together. That's all you need to do. Just snap them, lock them back in together. Okay, do that, and then you continue. Alright, your wire should click in, and this is how it should look, the way it looked when we took it apart. So that's it. So your heating elements are in, everything is done, everything's connected, nothing is touching. Just make sure everything is good, and you're good to go. Now we have to just put the door back on. Okay, so the door has these clamps, these hooks in the bottom that it sits on. So it's 3 hooks. Make sure you just sit the door on those hooks. Then you have the first 2 screws in the bottom, the guy you got to put in first. First is the first 2 screws. And then once you get those 2 screws in, you put the top ones in. Have somebody help you because the door is pretty heavy. Okay, once you have your door on with the hooks in the bottom, remember there's a wire inside. Okay, there's a wire inside. So that wire needs to snap in. You got to put that on before you lock the door permanently. So put that wire on. Don't forget the wire, otherwise nothing's going to work. Alright, so once you put your door in, remember the first 2 bottom screws go in first, the 2 bottom ones. And then you go to put the top ones in. So now you put the 4 on top. Alright, so the door has the 4 screws on top. Make sure you put 2 there. There's 1 and 2 on this side, okay? Now, see these little holes here? Remember, these holes on 4 sides, these holes, all these holes, are for the top panel. So now the top panel, there's no more wires to connect. It just goes in there, the hooks, snap it down, snap it back. That's all you do. and then you have the 4 screws on top to put in those plastic tabs. Put those 4 screws in, pull your top piece over, turn it on, and it should be working good. If not, you need another dryer because I did everything I could to salvage it. So let's see if it works. Okay, so the top plate is back on. Everything is back to normal. What I'm going to do now is push it back into place. Pop the breaker back on, plug it back to the wall, and let's see if our Samson is working, okay? Hope this helped, and I'll see you in a second. Say my goodbyes. All right, so now when it's all done, you just pop into the wall, plug it in, pop your breaker on, close your box, and here it goes. It's on. It's working. And now we're going to test it, okay? See if it heats up. Okay, here we go. All right, we have a load of clothes that we were washing in there. I want to remind you that you have to clean your tray, okay? Clean your lint tray, because a lot of times my wife had done it and she left it open, and that is kind of what caused it to burn out. So make sure you always put this back, because clean it and put it back, because if you leave it off, it'll go into the heating element, and that's what's going to burn it out. So be careful with that, okay? Good luck. I'll let you know if it's working, and hopefully this video will help you and it was successful, okay? Thank you. Okay, so now here we are at the end of the video. I hope everything went well. I hope you guys learned something, and please leave some comments. If this helps you, if you like my videos, you want to see some more instructional videos, how to do things, I do a lot of stuff, and I'm going to be posting a lot more. So thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the page and leave comments. Appreciate it. Bye.